What is up, artists and movers? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Gaylyn Lareese, and if you're new here, I'm a dancer who lives in Los Angeles, and I like to create dance-related content on YouTube for you guys. Side note, you guys, please excuse my room. It is basically right now a live-in warehouse for my dance brand, so that is why my room looks a complete mess with boxes everywhere, but I know we're gonna be able to just ignore that, right? Now, I grew up with a more ballet and technical background, but I absolutely love dancing in a heel. This is because I get to combine my ballet technique with doing styles that actually appeal to modern audiences. And when it comes to commercial styles, dancing in a heel is honestly my favorite. Although dancing in a heel has been done for many, many years, it started to become more popular. However, the market for buying shoes has not yet caught up. So there's not really a lot of brands that are really tailored toward dancers and dancers who want to dance in heels, which is why it's important to know the best way to pick shoes specifically for yourself and your feet in case you're not planning on going with the typical Capezio ballroom dance shoe. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you select the best pair of heels for you. That way, you can focus less on possibly falling and more on performance and execution. My first tip, and probably the most important, is make sure, please, that your heels have ankle support. Dancing in a heel requires you to pivot and change your weight multiple times within a time frame of anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 seconds. So making sure that you have heels that actually have support around the ankle and help you have stability is incredibly important. I'm considered, more of an advanced dancer, so that is why my ankle support is a little bit less. However, if you are a beginner or if you are starting out, make sure that your heels have more fabric around the ankle. Having shoes with more ankle support can help create more stability in the ankle and can also train your ankle to understand where its positioning should be while you dance. My second tip is do not, I repeat, do not wear thick rubber soles. Although it can sound like it's gonna help you slip less on the floor, it actually can make you stick to the floor. Oftentimes you're gonna be dancing on sprung floors that are either wooden or marley, and so having a rubber shoe can actually make you more tacky to the floor. And if that happens, then there's more chance of you actually twisting your ankle. So when you are picking shoes, make sure you pick shoes that have a smooth bottom on them so that you can actually have more freedom and mobility when you are trying to turn and execute all of these extra moves that we like to do in a heels class. While we are on the topic of foot soles, I would also like to remind you that our third tip is to not wear shoes that have a platform. Again, it sounds like, oh, my shoe has a platform, I can be more stable. Wrong. You want to make sure that your shoes actually have a small, thin layer, and that is it. Because when you are dancing in a heel, you want to make sure that your feet can actually feel the ground underneath. Dancing and learning heel technique requires that your body have a sense of where it is in space. If you are not able to feel the ground and feel what those shapes feel like, you actually are more prone to slipping and falling. Shoes without platforms also typically are more flexible, so that when you are trying to point your feet, you actually can create nice lines instead of having like a hunky brick at the end of your leg. So having a shoe that does not have a platform is my third tip for picking the right pair of heels to dance in. My fourth tip, and this comes directly from the mother Aisha Francis herself, do not wear a chunky heel. Oh, I'll have more support because a stiletto, it's like a small heel, there's not a lot of space for me to be able to move. Wrong. Wearing a chunky heel actually pulls you back off of the balls of your feet. And being on the balls of your feet is what is required for almost all of heels and technical dance in general. So if you are not on the ball of your foot, you can't turn, you can't transfer your weight, and then you risk falling. So making sure that you are actually picking a heel that is a stiletto will remind you to move onto the ball of your foot, and it will also train the muscles in your feet to become stronger and your ankles to become stronger. That is why, even though I have shoes that do not have an incredible amount of ankle support, I am able to support myself because I have trained my ankles to stay on the ball of the foot. In addition to wearing a stiletto heel, you also want to make sure that the height is the perfect height for you. Everyone has a different amount of flexibility in their ankles and in their arches, and that is what is going to determine how high of a heel you can wear. I personally prefer to wear an extremely high heel. This heel is 4.5 inches tall, and for me, that is the perfect height because it allows me to stay on the ball of my foot while also accentuating the curve in my foot. Now, personally, I do not have very arched feet, but I do have a lot of ankle strength, and so that is what allows me to support myself on such a high heel. If you do not have either strong ankles or you don't have a high arch or ankle flexibility, then you should probably consider to have a heel that is a little bit shorter. And then as you develop more strength and the muscles in your ankles, then you can go to a higher heel. So making sure that you have a heel that is a stiletto and isn't actually going to pull you back away from the ball of your foot, and B, having a heel that is the right height will not only allow you to dance better, but will ensure that you are actually training the muscles in your feet and in your ankles to reach their optimal ability. This will help your dancing improve and help you feel more confident over time. Now, my fifth and final tip is to make sure that your shoes are the right size. Gaylyn, why would I wear shoes that are wrong size? You actually could be. When dancing in a heel, oftentimes if you have a shoe that is open-toed like this one, your foot actually is going to slide a little bit in the shoe because the pressure that you are using to execute those dance moves is going to be making your foot slide in the shoe. We have to keep this in mind when we are actually picking the size of the shoe. So for example, I wear a size 8 to an 8.5 in a street shoe, meaning in a pair of sneakers that I would wear, going to the grocery store. However, in these heels, I wear a size 7.5 because I want the shoe to hug my ankle extra tight and to account for the slipping that may happen as I dance forward into the toe. For me, it is just a general rule of thumb that if I'm going to be picking heels specifically to dance in, that I pick either a half size or a whole size smaller than what I typically wear. It is also important to remember that you're going to be dancing in these shoes for a long time, and the fabric that they are made of is eventually going to stretch and shift a bit over time due to the fact that you are dancing in them, which typically these shoes are not meant for. So to account for the extra stretch in the fabric, that is also a reason why you should go with at least a half size smaller than your street shoe. Keeping this in mind when selecting your shoe can ensure that the ones that you pick will actually last you as long as possible, because no one wants to be buying new heels for class every 3 or 4 months. I hope that these 5 tips were very informative and can help you select shoes that will not only help you perform better, but help you feel more confident when you dance in a heel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button if these tips actually helped you, and let me know in the comments how long you've been dancing in a heel. And if you want to see more dance content, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can see every time when I have a new dance related upload. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye.